Hi YouTube. Tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I've been doing, and actually it's kind of the same because a normal thing that I do is I really like to paint a picture with my words and communicate that way. Uh, I'm I've been told I'm more of an artist than I am uh, a logician, but we'll see if I can't put something together here. So, without further ado, I will introduce the magical, logically consistent Illuminati, Reptillian, alien goblins. That's quite the mouthful, but bear with me, the idea is really simple. So, we're going to imagine that there are these magical goblins, reptilian space goblins, okay? So, as per stories that you might have heard online, there appears to be an all-controlling alien, reptilian Illuminati that's doing some pretty nasty things to humanity. Now, let's just say that for the sake of expedience, I represent one of these magically, logically consistent Illuminati, reptilian space goblins, and I've come down from on high to inform the human consciousness of our presence, just to sort of make it clear, yes, we exist, you're not imagining things, yes, we're controlling the weather, we're controlling markets, we're controlling basically everything, and all of the ailments that you're experiencing, your Morgellons coming out of your skin, and your breathing problems, all of it is due to us. We are the cause of all the environmental problems, so on and so forth. So now here's where this becomes interesting. Why in the world would we do this? Why? Well, for one, it might just be, as far as you know, a giant science experiment that we're running. The other thing is, we might have a plan to terraform your planet. And in fact, we have been terraforming your planet, and you are what amounts to a rainforest monkey in the way of our progress. Just some fungal representative of the native fauna, though we basically consider you more flora. You're sub-animal. You are just, or actually, maybe we'll have enough respect to say that you're an animal. So you're an animal here. Now, here's the rule. Here's where the magic comes in. Here's where the magic comes in. So there's a magical, and I don't know how many stories you've heard about magical creatures, but let me tell you just a really quick one. If you remember, there was once a magical goblin called Rumpelstiltskin. He was basically helping this girl deal with a problem she had. And ultimately, he said, okay, but you have to give me your firstborn kid. You owe it to me or else. And so he comes to collect, and he says, and this guy can literally just make gold appear out of nowhere. He can teleport. This is a magical creature with really incredible powers. So he makes the deal. So he's coming to collect, and she says, please, I don't want you to take my kid. I love my kid. Don't do this. And he says, we had a deal. I have no idea why you're trying to fight me here. Give me the fucking kid. And she says, please, I'll do anything. And he says, okay, fine, let's play a game. If you can guess my name within 3 days, I'll come back each night, and you can try to guess my name. And if you guess my name, then I must let you keep your kid. Now, ultimately, she basically cheats and finds out his name because he was dancing around in the forest saying his name over and over again like a little creepy, magical weirdo. And, he comes back, and she says, oh, Rumpelstiltskin. He's like, how'd you know? Damn it. And he gets angry and stomps and goes away. And, this is basically an all-powerful magical creature that could just steal the baby, but for some reason he doesn't. And all we're left with is sort of a mystery. But what you can deduce using logic is that he's magically bound to a set of rules. So that's what I'm presenting here. There is a magical set of rules bound to these Illuminati, space reptilian goblins. And so here's the rule. They say, I guess I'm the rep, so we say, do you object to all of this, and as you're picking more gellins out of your flesh? And, of course, we'll say about 100% of people are going to say, yeah, I object. Why do you think you can just terraform our land and wipe us off the planet when the time comes, if that's what you intend to do? And yeah, that's what we intend to do. We're going to get rid of all of you because you're just a thing to us. So actually, as the rep, we've actually found it a taste for you. So maybe we'll put you into sort of a factory farming situation, and for meat, right? And so ultimately they say this and ask you, how can you object? On what basis do you object? And of course, here's the thing. You have no basis to object, because as long as you're willing to sort of look at a less capable creature and destroy its environment and railroad it, and then ultimately just rape more of that species into existence, followed by the whole process of factory farming, and they've got their arguments too, like, oh, we like, it's not like we're not doing free range humans, and we like them to be soy fed and or whatever, they prefer to give to make humans taste better, and maybe they feed them meat, who knows. We prefer them to be beef fed or pork fed, so we're giving them all pork because it makes them taste better or something. And so the logical consistency of this is that as long as you're doing this, they can do this to you. And the 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 magical thing about the picture that I'm painting is that it's actually true. Is that the entire story is true. That if there were an outside alien, goblin, space, reptilian, Illuminati that are controlling and farming humans and terraforming underneath your feet, that you actually, because you happily and willfully pay for the factory farming and the destroying of environment, and that you have no objections at all, and even further, that you spurn people, namely vegans, for objecting to such, put you squarely in the crosshairs of these entities. You've invited them to do horrible things to you, and you actually have no reasonable objection to stop that from happening, because you agree that it's legitimate to do that, and just because you happen to be, in your view, the highest order organism, it doesn't. It doesn't. What it would be is special pleading. If at some point you say, "Yeah, but we're human," and they say, "So what?" So what? We're goblins. We're higher order than you. So what? Where is your logical consistency here? Where is the part where you make a point? Because if they, as goblins, believe that humans are lower order, in the same way that you presume cows, chickens, and pigs, goats, lambs, etc., are lower order than humans, you have no right to object to any of this. You have no right, no legitimate, logically consistent right or argument. You certainly have no argument, and you don't have the right, because you've, from a magical and karmic law of the universe, you've already signed away your sovereignty to merely higher order organisms. And until you figure that out, you don't deserve to be free. You don't deserve anything. Until you can recognize the injustice of needlessly exploiting and preying upon lower order organisms, you are fully in contract with these goblins to take advantage of you. And that's a law. That's a magical law, magical karmic law of the universe. So it's now this is all imaginary, and none of it's true in the literal sense, but it could be true in some universe. It might be true, and in that universe, you're a hypocrite and destined to be another lower order organism in the factory farming chain of mass cruelty by intelligent beings. And if you believe in karma, you're destined for the slaughterhouse. So I thought that I'd just sort of float this into the ether and see if I can reach someone who might be logical and thinking about what they're eating. Hi YouTube. Tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I've been doing, and it's, well, actually it's kind of the same because